Can you imagine a 91-year-old grandmother mocking a dangerous serial killer? In today's video, we'll dive into the incredible story of Mary Bartel, whose bravery helped take down one of Texas's most elusive criminals. Stay until the end for all the details about this incredible story. This man followed her from the grocery section to the cash register and even to the parking lot, getting into his own car as she left. What was the purpose of this strange behavior? This seemingly innocent moment would soon take a tragic turn. The woman being trailed that day was Luthi Harris, an 81-year-old grandmother beloved by her family and community. But only 2 hours after this footage was recorded, Luthi Harris would be found dead in her home. At first, her death appeared to be an unfortunate accident or a sudden health issue. However, further investigation led authorities down a disturbing path, revealing a pattern that shook the community. The man seen in the Walmart footage had been caught on camera at other locations, disguised in various outfits, including blue nurse scrubs and healthcare provider uniforms. He even posed as a plumber, all while lurking around retirement communities in Dallas, Texas. The pattern was undeniable. Elderly women, just like Luthi Harris, were turning up dead under eerily similar circumstances. For years, these deaths had been brushed aside as natural causes. After all, elderly individuals passing away in retirement homes wasn't exactly uncommon. But the rising numbers and the strange circumstances surrounding their deaths began to raise questions. Hundreds of elderly women had died mysteriously with nothing stolen except for valuable jewelry, wedding rings, necklaces, and watches. Despite these clues, the police initially treated the cases as isolated incidents. They weren't searching for a serial killer, nor did they suspect foul play. But everything changed on March 19, 2018, when 91-year-old Mary Bartel became the next target. She lived a quiet and peaceful life in a luxury retirement community in Dallas, known as Preston Place. The gated, secure environment provided a sense of comfort and safety for Mary and other residents like her. Mary had been married to her husband Don for 67 years, and though he had passed away in 2015, she remained active, attending daily exercise classes and participating in her close-knit community. But on that particular March morning, tragedy struck. At 9:26 a.m., a 911 dispatcher received a panicked call from Mary's friend, who had come to pick her up for their daily workout. Instead of finding her friend ready and waiting, she discovered Mary unconscious, lying motionless on her bed. There was no apparent sign of a struggle, yet something was very wrong. As her friend anxiously waited for emergency services to arrive, the unsettling reality began to take shape. Mary Bartel, known for her lively spirit and sharp mind despite her advanced age, was now fighting for her life. The paramedics rushed into the scene, checking her pulse and trying to revive her. To everyone's surprise, after a few moments, Mary regained consciousness. Weak but aware, she noticed something strange. Her wedding ring, the one she had never taken off, was missing. That ring was more than just jewelry to her. It was a symbol of her lifelong bond with her late husband, Don. For it to be gone was not just puzzling, it was terrifying. When police arrived at the scene, Mary's son, John Bartel, and the rest of the family were already in shock. They couldn't understand why this had happened, and even more perplexing was the fact that there seemed to be no clear reason for the attack. But Mary's quick-witted observation about her missing ring became a vital clue in unraveling a much darker mystery. Her family knew she wore that ring everywhere. She never took it off. For it to be missing suggested something sinister. As Mary lay in her hospital bed recovering, the investigation took a major turn. The police were starting to realize that this wasn't an isolated incident. A similar pattern of deaths had emerged across multiple retirement communities in the Dallas area. And many of those deaths had also involved missing valuables, primarily jewelry. What initially seemed like a random attack was now being viewed as part of a larger, more disturbing puzzle. It wasn't long before police linked the attack on Mary to a string of other suspicious deaths. The similarities were undeniable. Elderly women, living alone in retirement homes, were being targeted. They were all found dead under circumstances that could easily be mistaken for natural causes, with no signs of forced entry or violent struggle. However, in each case, personal items, especially valuable jewelry, had disappeared. One name kept popping up in these investigations: Billy Kimmermeer, a man who worked as a healthcare provider and had access to many of the retirement homes where the attacks occurred. His ability to blend in, often disguised as a nurse or maintenance worker, allowed him to slip into the lives of these vulnerable women without raising suspicion. Kamermir was known to frequent the same communities where the women were last seen alive, and his modus operandi was becoming clear. He would follow his victims, stalk them as they went about their daily lives, and then strike when they were most vulnerable. As the police dug deeper into Kamermir's past, they uncovered a chilling history. In addition to his work in the healthcare field, he had a criminal record, including previous arrests for trespassing in retirement homes. He would pose as a maintenance worker, gain access to the buildings, and then disappear, leaving no trace behind except for the missing valuables. With the mounting evidence against Billy Kamermir, law enforcement intensified their efforts to track him down. Everything pointed to him being the mastermind behind a horrifying pattern of elderly women mysteriously dying in their homes, only for their most valuable possessions to vanish without a trace. The key to his sinister acts lay in his ability to go unnoticed. He would pose as a doctor, a handyman, or a maintenance worker while preying on his next victim. On March 20th, 2018, just one day after the attack on Mary Bartel, police finally got their break. Kamermir had been spotted in a Walmart just a few miles from Mary's retirement community. Security footage revealed a chilling scene. Kamermir was once again stalking an elderly woman, this time in the store. He followed her through the aisles, mimicking her movements much like he had done with Luthi Harris before her tragic death. His unsettling behavior went unnoticed by the woman, who finished her shopping and left the store unaware that she was being followed. That same afternoon, the police tracked Kamermir's vehicle as it entered an apartment complex. They watched as he casually pulled up to a dumpster, threw something inside, and drove off. Officers immediately moved in, recovering the discarded item, a red jewelry box which contained remnants of its valuable contents. More importantly, it held a piece of paper bearing the name Luthi Harris. This discovery was the critical link police needed to connect Kamermir directly to the murder of Luthi Harris. Realizing they were dealing with a serial killer who had likely been operating for years, the police wasted no time. They swiftly moved to arrest Billy Kamermir outside his Dallas apartment. Upon searching his home, they uncovered an alarming amount of evidence. Multiple pieces of jewelry belonging to various victims were found, along with gloves, tools, and other items that indicated this was not a one-time occurrence. Kamermir had perfected his technique over years, slipping in and out of these retirement communities, stealing lives along with their most cherished belongings. Mary Bartel's bravery reminds us that strength knows no age. Sadly, she passed away peacefully in 2020, and her legacy will always live on. Her actions saved lives and brought justice to many families. Just days shy of her 93rd birthday, Mary is remembered as a legend. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and like us so you don't miss the next video. Until the next case.